Hi Virgo, welcome to your June 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. So that's what we have in front of us. It's a Celtic cross spread as always, and then I also pulled some oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card. So we'll get started with the main spread as always. In the main situation position, we have the Empress. So this is a Venus energy, as we could see clearly a Venus symbol there. And right now you guys actually have Venus retrograde in your 10th house of career and social status. So this could just be saying that maybe some of you are receiving some praise and some accolades in that area of life. And if it goes beyond that and just points to your general disposition this month, this could just be saying that you're letting things flow to you. You're not really, being too active and going after anything. You're just trying to let things come your way this month. And in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Queen of Wands. So interesting here because this is actually a court card for Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So we see like that Venus versus Mars situation going on there, right? So it could just be saying maybe a bit of a battle between feminine and masculine energies for you guys right now. Now, Mars is actually in your opposite sign of relationships too. So that could be what's at play there. There could be a bit of a mismatch between the feminine and masculine energy within you, or possibly in a dynamic with someone else. This could even just be saying that what you want might be well within your reach with the Empress energy, that it's available to you, but it might still require some action on your part with the Queen of Wands showing up here in the challenge position. It could also be as simple as saying that, you might be in a very relaxed, chill vibe right now, and people in your environment might be the ones who really want to get up and go and, just have a energy level that clashes a bit with your energy level this month. Doesn't have to be anything too bad, but that could be what's at play there. In the foundation position, we have the Star, the Queen of Swords, the King of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Cups. So basically like 80% of the deck in the foundation position. So let's try to make sense of this. Alright. Give me a second here. Well, okay. I could see this playing out a few different ways actually. So let me just try to go through them as quickly as possible. Otherwise we'll be here for a really long time. With the Star card, this could just be saying that you guys might have gone through a bit of a course correction. Maybe you've had a tower moment recently, but at the same time that actually has you more clear on your vision as far as what you want going forward. With the Queen of Swords, this can be around finances, given that that actually represents your second house of finances, given that this is Libra energy. Maybe even around the time of that Libra full moon there could have been a bit of a shift for you at that point. And if that's the case, it could just be saying that, maybe you're communicating what you want now with the Hierophant showing up there. And then this could be around, again, like I said, a business deal, finances for you guys, especially given that you do have that energy, a lot of energy actually going on in your 10th house this month. And with the Seven of Cups, though, that's the interesting part with that whole storyline, which could just be saying that, maybe there's almost too many options. So on the one hand, you could have this clarity as far as what you want to do going forward. You're communicating it, but now the tricky part could be that there's too many options at play, or maybe that you're not seeing those options clearly, which could also be the case too. I mean, again, the Venus retrograde in your 10th house career and social status, we're also going to have your ruler going retrograde in Cancer, which could be a bit of a tricky energy too this month. So could be saying that, maybe what you're pretty sure of, this might not be quite the time to act on it yet. And then maybe that's where we see that Empress and Queen of Wands energy playing out in that tricky way too. Now, if this is involving more of a one-to-one basis type of connection, this can be saying that, maybe you get some communication from possibly a Scorpio for some of you, or maybe even a Taurus. Sorry, let's stick with the Scorpio story first. If it's a Scorpio, they might all of a sudden communicate that they do want to be in a connection with you, and then that might throw you for a loop, like, okay, where did this come from? So that's one way that those energies could be playing out. So be prepared for that. And then if it's a Taurus, you might actually hear from them out of the blue with the King of Cups energy. For you guys, Scorpio is your third house communication. You might hear from them all of a sudden, and that might throw you for a loop as well. Like, where did this come from? So it could be one of those things that, especially given that we see the Empress energy in the main position, you might have just gone through a bit of a rough stretch, and now that you're just vibrating in that more positive energy, things might be coming back your way that you just weren't expecting to come around. So I feel like that might freeze you up a little bit. In the past position, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So whatever the situation was around, I feel like this is something that didn't really get off the ground in the past. So again, if it was like, let's say, if it was a Taurus or a Scorpio especially, maybe they're coming back around. And this could just be something that never even got off the ground to begin with. And possibly, since we did see the Libra energy there as well, maybe this was a financial situation too that just never really gained traction. And now with the Venus retrograde going through your 10th, there's a chance to revisit those things and actually get them back on track. In the present position, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is actually pretty similar to the Empress energy that we saw in the main position. And interestingly enough, when we have the full moon in Sagittarius, which is an eclipse, Mars is going to be in these degrees. So what this could be saying now, looking at it from that perspective, especially seeing that the Queen of Wands is looking up towards that, this could just be saying that this is you kind of digging your feet in a way. You know, like being so sure of what you want that you're not really willing to budge. And if that's the case, that full moon could be a bit of a tricky energy for you guys. We'll get to that a little bit later too, actually. But that could be what that's even saying, which is saying that, you know, you're really digging your feet in. And maybe what that's saying there is that that could cause you to lose an opportunity, potentially, from being in that, you know, unwavering position. Because that is another way the Empress energy can play out too. And then especially thinking about the Queen of Wands being in a challenge could be saying that, you know, you're in that energy of I'm not budging. I want what I want and that's it. And, you know, that's not the most open energy in that regard, right? Near future position, we have the Page of Wands. So this does look like you will actually feel that urge to take some action. And I do have to say, for some of you, it might be to leave something behind too, given that Page of Wands is looking at the Eight of Cups right there, walking away from a situation. So again, like I said, some of you might just be so sure of yourselves about what you want. And if you feel like you're not getting that, you might just move on from a situation, which is fine. But I would say make sure you really think that through because, again, like we said, we have Venus retrograde in the 10th, and you're going to have Mercury retrograde. So, I mean, if this is something you really feel was a long time coming, that you should have left a long time ago, that's one thing. But if this is more of a feeling that's arising for you more suddenly, you might want to try to wait it out a little bit. But on a more innocent side, this could just be saying that this is finally you actually taking action toward a situation and going after what you want. In the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Temperance card. So this is actually the major arcana card for Sagittarius. And like I was saying, there's actually going to be a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius on June 5th. And especially if you guys have placements in the middle of Virgo, you're really going to feel that energy because, I mean, basically what's going to be going on there, you're going to have obviously the sun opposite the moon. That's going to be what the full moon is to begin with. But we're also going to have Venus in the mix there in Gemini, so the moon will be opposite Venus. It's going to be square Mars in Pisces, so that's really, especially for those of you with your placements in the middle, it's going to be a bit of a harsh energy, but it might actually serve as a bit of a course correction for you guys, basically, believe it or not. I don't think it would feel too comfortable, and it could even be what this is pointing to as well, with the Venus and then the Mars energy challenging that. But looks like it actually would work out for your benefit. And this could just show that you guys are going to be a bit measured and really trying to figure out how best to move forward with the situation. So that's a more positive way that could play out. All right. And in the environment position, like we mentioned before, we do have the Eight of Cups. And that's actually a Pisces energy. So again, your opposite sign. So this For those of you who are already in a relationship, this could definitely point to, again, like I said, you might actually walk away from a connection. I'm not necessarily sure that would stick if you were to do that now, given what I was saying with the retrograde energies we're going to have, but that could at least be the mode that you're in right now, where you just feel the need to move on from something. For others of you, this can represent, like I was saying, if there might be someone who comes around to you and all of a sudden opens up and expresses feelings for you, if that leaves you in that Seven of Cups state, then that could actually represent them. So if you're not communicating with them at all, let's say this is representing you weighing your feelings out, like, oh, what do I want to do about this? If you're not actually physically communicating to them that you are giving it some consideration, they might move on from the situation. But for a lot of you, I feel like this is your energy, given that we do see the seven there in the foundation. So it could just be saying that you might get a spark lit under you, definitely possibly around that full moon, that actually gets you to take action and go after what you want. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Four of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could definitely just be saying that you're hoping for some balance and stability when it comes to your finances. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But given that this is second house energy for you guys, the Libra energy, and then this is the Taurus energy there, and like we were saying, we have that Venus retrograde situation going on. That could be what's going on there, just as simple as that, saying that you're hoping for some balance and stability in your financial life, and maybe even that's what some of this is around if it is a career situation. If that's the case, I feel like there would be some positive energy in your way. Like I said, it could just be as simple as that you might have to take some action. So maybe for some of you, might even be threatening to leave a situation, like, well, this is what I want. And if you're not going to give that to me, then I might walk away, right? Could be a bit of a tricky situation to go into that given the current economic state of things, but that could be what it's saying, where you might have to at least make it known what you want and let people know that that's what you're seeking, and then see what happens from there. But in the outcome position, we have the Tower and the Knight of Pentacles. So interesting message here. I mean, obviously no one wants to see the Tower card in their spread, especially in the outcome position. But the one positive there is that beneath the Tower, we do see the Knight of Pentacles, which is your card. Now, I do have to say, one way I could see this playing out, going back to what we were talking about in the beginning there, could just be saying that for those of you who do actually have to take action on something, where, like I was saying, you might be so set in that Empress energy, Nine of Cups energy, where there could be something right in front of you that you really want, but you're refusing to go after it, which could be saying that that's what the Queen of Wands is saying, that you do have to take some action. Just having something come your way is one thing, but you might actually have to play a part in keeping it, right? So I feel like this is saying for those of you who don't take that action, it might take a Tower moment. So in this case, it might be someone walking away from the table in that regard, right? Taking their offer with them. That causes a Tower moment for you. And then you scramble and then actually say, oh, wait, hold on, I do want that, right? So something to keep in mind there. I guess the positive way to look at that, if you want to look at it that way, is even if you're not sure of taking action, it looks like the universe is going to nudge you that way anyway. So if you feel like, oh, I don't think it's the right time for me to make a move or whatever, I hate to say it, but it looks like the events might take place, and I feel like it could definitely be related to that full moon eclipse. Events just might take place that force your hand anyway. So, but if that's the case, I do see it ending in a positive way for you, given that it's your card and the outcome beneath the Tower, and it's in the upright. So, again, like I said, that full moon energy alone is going to be pretty intense for you guys, especially if you're right in the middle of Virgo, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, whatever that's in those degrees. Could be a bit of a bumpy ride for you guys, but it looks like you'll land on your feet eventually. This is almost like after the dust settles type situation. You're where you need it to be all along anyway. So there's that. All right, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. So this is a bit of a celebratory energy. Usually represents, spending time with friends or family. I view these as these long-term types of connections. It's technically a Cancer energy, represents the middle 10 degrees of Cancer. So this could just be saying that with all the stuff going on this month, maybe by the time we get there, which would be around the first 10 days of July. So maybe this is saying you might end the month after going through that tower moment and finally getting back on your feet. So leading into July, you'll be in this energy where you're actually able to celebrate, your successes from whatever the situation was. And I do have to say, beneath that, we do have the Death card. So there could definitely be something going on with a Scorpio for you guys this month. So it could be that a Scorpio might come around and communicate to you that they want to move toward a connection. And beneath that, we actually have the Four of Wands, rather. So something to think about there. That could be what's going on. And if that's the case, I feel like they're going to say what they want to say to you. You might drag your feet on it. They might walk away, causes the tower moment. Then you might come back and say, wait. So that's one way I can see that playing out. I have the Ten of Cups there too. So definitely interesting for those of you who are dealing with a Scorpio or possibly even an Aries, since that would be 8th house for you guys. And we do see the Aries energy there as well. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards, we have Exchanging Gifts. There's the artwork, and the number is 27. Okay, let's see what that says. Okay, it says the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing cost, and determining value. The Oracle's message: you're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them. Yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in the dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time of just do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. So definitely an interesting message there. And in that regard, in the context of the main spread here, it could just be saying that might be the main issue that you guys have. There's an imbalance between the giving and receiving, with the Aries and Mars energy showing up in the challenge position to the Venus energy. So it could just be saying you have to find that balance there. So this could definitely be something going on within you guys, where the give and take dynamic that you guys engage in might be out of balance in some way. The relationship message says love is an exchange of life force energy between two beings. It grows exponentially when it's reciprocated. You must give and receive in order for love to flourish and abundance to flow between you. Spirit wants you to start accepting all the blessings waiting for you, as well as offer the same gift in return. Open your heart and allow it to be filled. Let love in and let it flow out of you too. Love is truly yours today. So definitely an interesting message there. And again, when it says it grows when it's reciprocated, if this is a situation where, maybe you've just been receiving and not giving, right? That could just be saying that that's the danger there too. So for those of you who are in a connection, and again, like we said, with Mars in your opposite sign, your person might get fed up with that dynamic if they feel like you're always just staying around to receive, and they're the ones who are constantly giving, so they might walk away, which could cause that tower moment for you guys and realize, oh wait, I actually need to give as well, right? So I think you will come to that realization one way or the other with the Temperance energy here. But like I said, just keep in mind with the eclipse energies, if you don't figure it out for yourselves, the universe might nudge you guys that way anyway. All right, the prosperity message says all your hard work and efforts, your commitment to learning, creating, and spending your time wisely pay off in ways you may not have been anticipating. The gifts of yourself, your time, your ideas, and the energy of your intentions are being reciprocated by the universe, which is sending you signs and signals, aligning synchronistic meetings and opportunities to bring you success and more. Everything is an exchange. Keep doing what you're doing. Goodwill comes back tenfold. So an interesting message there too, because when I was talking about that, you might see something that you want right in front of you, right? With the Empress energy, and then also we see the Nine of Cups. Again, especially with the Page of Wands there, it could just be saying that, okay, that's great. You see what you want right in front of you, but you have to take some action to actually secure that. So hopefully that message resonated with you guys too. And then you guys actually got a second card that came up from this deck, and it's Between Worlds. There's the artwork, and the number is 3. So, well, that actually lines up with the Empress. So we'll see if that gives you some more insight on that energy there. All right, it says transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another, temporary blindness, no man's land. So temporary blindness does make me think of the Seven of Cups energy we saw in the foundation. The Oracle's message says, between the worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you are unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place, between what was and what will be, is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness, greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. So definitely an interesting message there. The part where it said you are done learning the lessons of recent experiences definitely made me think of what I was feeling with that star card energy in the foundation too. So hopefully that resonated for you guys. Okay, the relationship message says, this is a time to explore the new energy between you and another. It is not a moment for certainty, but rather for discovery and curiosity. You don't yet know if this will last forever, so allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship that is not to be dismissed or hurried. So definitely an interesting message there too. And in a way that kind of makes me feel, makes me think of the Empress energy and the Nine of Cups too, which is to say, if you're too set in your ways, you might actually miss out on an opportunity in that regard as well. So hopefully that resonates with you guys. And then the prosperity message says, in your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in new and different arenas. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. So definitely an interesting message there, and that almost makes me think of the Page of Wands and the Eight of Cups that we see there, which is to say, okay, maybe you've been trying something that, okay, this worked for others, but maybe you might have to step outside the box, and that could be what the Eight of Cups energy is pointing to in that regard. All right, and finally, we have Whale Spirit. This is from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. It says, trust the great mystery. There's the artwork. And the number here is 65. So 65 definitely makes me think of June 5th, which is when that full moon will be. So could definitely be some significance to that again, but we'll see what that says. Okay, it says, whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, Whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veil separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness hidden in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. So definitely an interesting message there, especially that last sentence made me think of the Temperance card. You know, where it says what you can see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. So what I would say there is if you feel pulled in some way that you can't really understand, you just feel like this draw to a certain situation or even a relationship, maybe that's what this is saying in that regard, you know. So hopefully that resonated for you guys. And the last thing we have is a mudra for your sign, and the mudra you guys got is the Chakra mudra. This is it here, and the keyword for it is consolidation. All right, there's the info on it, and under benefits it says centering and grounding improves digestion, assimilation and elimination, reduces gas and bloating, increases vigor and self-confidence. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial, I will put the name of the mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.